Hey everyone. It's been over 2 minutes and I haven't been raped yet. But I did see Mandi Gray in person last week, and I'm not sure which is worse. Hi, I'm Diana Davison. Last week I attended the appeal hearing in R versus Ururyar. Yes, that's the Queen versus, 'cause I'm Canadian. Get over it, eh? And the judge seemed pretty annoyed with this verdict. Last year, Mustafa was convicted of sexual assault, and the now retired Judge Zucker, who wrote the decision, he retired a few months too late, spent most of his time ranting in illiterate sentences and talking about rape myths instead of addressing the evidence in the case. For some insane reason, the Crown objected to the appeal. Basically, that reason was public pressure from feminists. Thankfully, Judge Dambrot, who is hearing the appeal, has a few choice words to say about that before the day is done. One of the lawyers who was present, Joanna Birnbaum, presenting for the Barbara Schliffer Center as an intervener, arguing that Mustafa should have to pay Mandi Gray the complainant's legal fees, which she chose to incur, happens to be on retainer for Mandi Gray's organization, Silence is Violence. At one point, Ms. Birnbaum said, on a personal note, and I thought she was actually going to announce her conflict of interest. But that was too much to hope for from, feminists thinking that they might err on the side of ethics. Birnbaum is employed by Mandi Gray to represent her, Stephen Galloway's false accuser, and Glynis Kirchmeier, who thankfully openly acknowledges that she's never been raped, but somehow still wants money. This is so much about money that Mandi unapologetically and proudly gave interviews outside the courthouse with a helium balloon in the shape of a $sign as one of her props. But don't worry, Mandi left the courthouse rather unhappily after Judge Dambrot told her and her entourage that they were welcome to leave, otherwise be quiet. He then followed up by reminding them that he could have them removed. When Mandi and company did their walkout shortly after, reporters were told that they left in contempt of court. I, personally, want a list of all the names of those people because next time they try to testify in court, the court should know that they hold contempt for the process in advance. Christie Blatchford has written 2 excellent articles this last week, links below, about the appeal and Mandi Gray's dubious connections to other false accusers. And I'm glad we can finally start talking about the real crimes taking place on college campuses. How many men have to be destroyed before we put an end to this madness? Well, I've got good news. In the course of the appeal hearing, Judge Dambrot excoriated the Crown when she tried to femsplain Justice Zucker's insane decision. The explanation? Well, he was addressing the public climate and the concern about rape myths that the public has after other recent decisions. Oddly, Crown chose to bring up a recent verdict from only 3 weeks ago that resulted in activist demands that the judge involved be removed from the bench. The Honorable Judge Dambrot responded appropriately. He was pretty fucking angry. He said, I don't have to prove anything to the media. Judges write verdicts based on evidence. Dambrot laid it out simply. It's pretty easy to not apply rape myths. You just don't use them. For some reason, Crown didn't pick up that signal that this line of reasoning was hurting her case, even after Dambrot told her, you're not helping his case. At one point, the judge was even told that the province of Ontario had devised an action plan to stop sexual violence, and he was asked, what's the action plan that the courts have to soothe the public? Never before have I heard feminists openly, in direct words, demand that the courts turn to judicial activism. Well, okay, sure, Canada is known for its activist judges, but feminists have never before actually issued the demand openly, until now. Thankfully, the Honorable Judge Dambrot responded that Crown was losing the forest for the trees. Judges dispel myths by deciding cases correctly. And what they shouldn't do, he told her, and what in fact they can't do, is use a trial verdict to write your own manifesto. So, I'd say that this was a good day for justice in the Canadian courts. Not such a good day for Mandi Gray and all of her cronies. Now, the official verdict won't be out until June 8th. In the meantime, I think Mustafa Ururyar should finally be able to smile a bit. It's a little bit of hope that maybe there's some justice left in Canada.
Although it's not bad, eh? It's like a condensed version of a Saturday night. You have a little beer and a little of this.
Look at him, man. He's loaded.